Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lara, or Lara Likes Mascara. Our video today is an empties and declutter video. I always give a little recap, but basically I have been on a makeup no-buy. I'm not even gonna give it an amount of time because I've been on a conscious consumerism journey, that's probably a better way to put it, for more than 5 years now, which has meant alternating no buys and low buys. I'm currently on a makeup no buy. And what that means is I'm constantly trying to curate down my collection, have a makeup collection that I truly love, where all of the products are things that I really do enjoy. And so that means moving a lot of older products out of my collection. This has happened very gradually. Sometimes it takes a while to realize that you're actually never going to use that product because you just don't like it. And sometimes it means, you know, working on a blush that you've had for a long time, realizing that you do enjoy it, so eventually panning it. But panning blush obviously takes upwards of a year sometimes. And so I collect all of the makeup products that I finish or declutter over the course of the year. And every 2 months, I give a little recap, a little empties haul. So that's what this video is. I show both empties and skincare. Sometimes there's hair care and body care. I don't think we have any of that today, but I like to show the makeup first because that is probably what you are all here for. This is a makeup channel, but I also think it's relevant to show the skincare products that I'm going through as well and what I am enjoying, because that is all within the, beauty realm. So let's first talk about all of my makeup empties and then my makeup declutters, and then we will move on to those other categories. If you want more frequent updates than this, I actually do updates on my TikTok every month. So every month I talk about all of my makeup empties, whereas here I talk about it every 2 months. That is a shorter version, obviously. But if you're eager to know, you can check that out. I actually have a lot of makeup products this time, which is so exciting. So let's just get on into it. Where to begin? Let's start with lips, because lips tend to be my biggest category in terms of empties in the past year and a half, because I really focused on trying to move those products out of my collection, because I realized that that's a category that I simply have the most in, and it's not a category that's my favorite. Like, mascaras would be my next most category, but look at my name, Lara Likes Mascara. I love mascara, so I can kind of justify that. But we've got all of these lip products that are done, so let's talk about them one by one. I guess first I will talk about this duo. This is from Revlon. These are both lip butters. I think I had like 5 at the beginning of this journey, and these were my final 2. I have a lipstick project pan, which I will link here. It is kind of my graveyard project pan for this year, and I think that's how I was trying to move these out. I have a lot of different projects, but yeah, I love the formula of these. I just wasn't really into any of the shades. So we've got Red Velvet and Wild Watermelon, and I actually ended up finishing them pretty much at the same time. I finished this one maybe 2 weeks before this one, but I just wanted to sort of see them out together. So that's why I focused on them in tandem, and I'm really happy that they're done. I have actually depotted the product inside. I have not started to use that up yet. I'm focused on some other lip products, but we'll see how that goes. I think with the last lip butter that I depotted into a different container, I didn't finish that. I ended up decluttering it. I think. Maybe I finished it. I don't remember, but because there's 2, it's kind of daunting. So I'm just glad that their containers are out, and we'll figure out what to do later. Those are my first empties. And then we've got 2 very exciting ones. This is the Tower 28 lip gloss. This is the first lip gloss that I ever panned. This is the first. This was decluttered to me by Shauna, and I didn't love it when she gave it to me, but I was like, you know what, everyone loves these. I'm going to try to use it. I'm going to see if I can fall in love with it. I never did, but it disappeared in my collection. I think it felt like behind this thing for over a year. And then I rediscovered it, and then I decided, you know what, it doesn't take very long to use up. Like, even though I'd only used it a couple times, I could already see the progress. So I set myself the goal of finishing it, and I think that was in May? Maybe I'm misremembering. Let's say it was like February, March, but still, considering this was not the only product I was focusing on and it only took about 2 months, if you've got these Tower 28 glosses, pan them. It's not that hard. You can do it. So glad that that one is out. And then we've got this little lip sample from KVD. This is one that I did not think that I would be finishing. I thought this would be a declutter. It doesn't look very daunting. It's tiny, but this was so much work. It really was. I did not enjoy the process very much, but I'm glad that I finished it because samples, there's something like extra satisfying about finishing a sample because they're never products that you specifically want, right? Like you don't generally select samples, you're just like given them in your orders. Or I think this was part of like a birthday gift from Sephora. Because I never wanted it in the first place, it's extra motivating to finish it because it's like I can do it even if it was not my choice to bring it in. So that one is out. Those are the 4 lip products that I finished over the past 2 months. Okay, moving on from lip products, we've got a mascara empty this month, which is pretty rare. This is the Milk Kush mascara. With some of these, I feel like I've already talked about them in a video, but I think it's because of the TikToks I do monthly, as I mentioned. But this was just like smudging everywhere. It's not done, like there's still product in it, but every time I would wear it, it would get literally everywhere. And I wouldn't even wear it on my bottom lashes, just my top, and it would still like get in all of the creases around my eye. Just not good. I thought this was a pretty good mascara. It's not a mascara that makes me believe in high-end mascaras. I am a drugstore girly for sure, but it is good. That's what I'll say about it. Just not towards the end of its life. The next one is an eyeliner declutter, which is almost as rare as a mascara. I mean, I would actually call this more of an empty because I finished one side of it, which I'm so happy about. The other side is like a bluey purple, which I don't love. I don't love this shade on my eyes, so I'm just decluttering that end. But this one, I really dug in there. I used like an eyeliner brush and I used the black pigment on my line, but I don't know, I just felt it was getting like more and more smudgy, and it used to be really like precise and would stay all day, and it just stopped doing that. So I'm not too sad to say goodbye to this. I'm glad that it is leaving my collection. A lot of these products are actually in my project pan because that is the way that I move products out of my collection. That is how I encourage myself to focus on them, by putting them in that. So like some of these I have talked about before in that most recent update. I will link it here. The next one is, oh, I forgot about this lip product. I actually finished 5 lip products over the past 2 months, not 4. But this is from Kiko. One end, there's nothing in it, but the other end is what I ended up finishing. This is another one that I can see myself digging in there and getting the product out, because not to use as a lip product, but I love this as a blush. It is super similar to the Glossier Cloud Paint in whatever that bright red one is. I love it, and so I love this. And this was actually my favorite red lipstick in terms of the formula that I own, because okay, I have the NYX one that I'm trying to pan formula. It just like gets everywhere. It's not good. I have MAC Ruby Woo, which is beautiful, but I don't find that it lasts super well. This fades really beautifully. So anyways, love this. Probably gonna dig in there, but I am glad that I got it out because this was super old. Really old. Some of these products, it's not that I don't like them, they're just too old for me to feel comfortable using them. These next two, I wasn't sure if I should include them in this update, but I think they would count as finished to some people, so that's why they're being included. This is the Illamasqua bronzer. Just yesterday was the last time that I was successfully able to apply this regularly, so up until today I had just been drawing it on my cheeks, you know, but now it's right at the edge, and so I have to use my bronzer brush to like dig around in there and then apply it, and not as much comes off. Some bronzing sticks, I can tell that the best way to use it is with a brush. With this one, it's just not. So I think I'm gonna dig in there, take the product out. You know, we've got a lot of depotting at this time of year because so many of these products I finished, which is, it is great, but depotting is just like kind of annoying. So that is done to some people, not to me, but the main bulk of the product is done. And then we've got this Milk blush. This one, I can't wind it up anymore. Last time I took it out of the freezer, I just wound it all the way up so I wouldn't have to anymore. I can actually draw a little bit, like some still comes out, but I can feel like the edges when I do that, which I don't love scraping my cheek like that. So we are calling this done/time to depot. So this is one that I will be depotting into a different container as well. Keep your eyes out for that YouTube short or TikTok, I guess. But yeah, really, really enjoyed it. But simultaneously really, really glad that it is done because it is super old. So these are the most exciting updates, I think, in terms of what hasn't been showed on the channel yet, because a lot of these you have already seen in some other type of video. Okay, makeup declutters. First, let's talk about this blush. Yes, this was part of my blush roulette for the month of May, I believe it was, and I got tired of this real quick. Okay, with some blushes, by the end of the month, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to move on to the next one. You know, I'm just getting tired of this. With this one, 4 days in, I made a TikTok talking about how I already wanted to declutter it. So I knew this was leaving. It's just, yeah, it's super old. It is not covered. Don't love the shade anymore. It's just too hot baby pink. So it's time to say goodbye to this one. It is leaving my collection finally. Okay, the next declutter, this was definitely in my project pan at some point last year. I don't think it has been so far in 2024, but this was the NYX Milk Chubby Stick, which I never loved. Just like, look at that shade. How do you make a pure white work on your face? Somebody might be able to, but I cannot. I am not so good a makeup artist that I was able to make that work. So this is leaving my collection. I just felt relief when I made that decision. You know, some products you like feel a little bit guilty or you're unsure. You're like, am I going to regret this? With this, I was just like, whew, it's gone. I don't need to worry about it anymore. This next one, okay, this isn't actually a declutter. I had a party a little while ago and there was a bunch of stuff left at the party. Look at this teeny tiny product. I didn't even know this existed. It's called Skinny Mascara from Annabelle and it looks like it's for your like bottom lashes. Now, I never used it, but I just thought it was interesting to note because I had not seen anything like this before and it looks cute. So yeah, if you're my friend and you lost this, please come take it. I've still got it. I don't know what to do with it. With a lot of other products, I might be like, you know what? That's fine. I'll like sanitize it or whatever. Mascara, I'm obviously not going to do that. It's just unfortunate that it was mascara and not something else, you know? Anyways, the final makeup products that I'm decluttering are actually a bunch of foundations. I had 4 originally, now I have 3, but my mom decluttered these to me. They're the Dior Backstage Pro Air Flash Foundation. They are a spray foundation. I actually sold the 4th one, and I kept a few of them. My mom had a bunch, and I have been able to make this work more than I did originally. I really had to play around with it, try using my fingers, try using a sponge, try using a brush, and then like practicing with different amounts. So I have figured out the like perfect amount to use and also that it works best with a beauty blender. So I'm able to make it work now. That being said, I don't need 6 of these. That is too many. So I am trying to get rid of these, either sell them or just give them back to my mom. Not that she'll be able to ever get through all of these in her lifetime because the one that I have is taking me forever. But yeah, I decided to get rid of more than half of the ones I have because I don't need this many foundations of a product that I don't like very much. In fact, I don't even need this many foundations of a product that I do like that much because by the time I got to the later ones, they would just expire. You don't need this much back stock. I know there's people who do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Those are all of the makeup products that I've either panned or decluttered over the course of the past 2 months, but let's move on to skincare now. This is actually all skincare except for one product. So first, I got this in the Sephora sale last year, the Peace Out Acne Spots. It was a box of like 2 sheets of these. I had just been hearing so much good stuff about these and also like spot treatments specifically. I had never tried an acne spot treatment before. You know what I mean? Like the little, let me show you what they are. Actually, you're not gonna be able to see because it's just the sheet, but there's these little like circles that you put on a blemish. There was 10 of these. I think they probably worked for 2 of my pimples. So I do not think these are worth purchasing. I know some people swear by them. They love them. I just didn't find that they worked most of the time. I have another sheet, like it came as a pack of 2, so I will be slowly working through that. But would I repurchase? No. I just think your pimple has to be at the perfect point of its like cycle for you to put it on at night and to wake up and have it be removed. And that only happened 2 out of 10 times. So not really worth the gamble for me. But for the 2 that it worked for, I was happy. For the other 8, I was surprised, confused, and underwhelmed. The next one is this hand cream. This was actually in my project pan because I had so little left in it and I just never reached for it, that I was like, throw it in the project pan. That's the way that I'm going to use it up. And indeed it was. This, I didn't like the scent very much. It's a hemp scent from the Body Shop. I find that in the summer months, like April onwards, I just never use any kind of like moisturizer or cream that's not on my face because my body doesn't really get dry. A little bit my legs, like after I shave, but my hands, they're soft, they don't get scaly, they're not dry if it's not like cold outside, you know? So I kind of had to like force myself to use this one. I didn't really need to, but it is a good hand cream. I like the Body Shop hand creams. I've got a lot of backup hand creams, so not a repurchase. And this is the point where I realized that I haven't talked about if I would repurchase any of these products. Would I? You know, I quite liked this bronzer stick, but I don't think I would repurchase it just because there's so many bronzer sticks out there that I am dying to try. It's not something I've tried a lot of. Whereas these other ones, like these lip formulas, these shades, I just didn't love it, so I wouldn't repurchase. I didn't love this, so I wouldn't repurchase. With this, it's not that I didn't like it. It's just that I want to try other types of products, but it was a good one. Ooh, this one actually is a repurchase. This is the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water. This is a repurchase because I have a backup right now. I didn't purchase it for myself. It was my birthday recently, and I think all I asked for was like this micellar water and also white workout socks because all of my socks are falling apart. But this I really wanted another one of because the makeup remover I'm currently using, I'm just not about it. I think it was recommended to me by you guys actually. I got it when I was in the US. It's a Good Molecules skin cleanser foaming thing. You know, like it's not a liquid like this. It's like you rub it all over your face. It's fine. That kind of makeup remover is just not for me. I just find it so much more work. I cannot be bothered. If I'm getting ready for bed, I don't want it to be like a 20-minute process. I just want to, yeah. So love this, and I'm glad that I have backup because I have missed it. This stuff is great. I've tried more expensive kinds and I didn't like them as much as this. So this is my favorite. I guess we should have done this in order of makeup application, but whatever. This is the Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors plus Beta Glucan. Surprisingly, I love this stuff. I have used the regular Ordinary moisturizer for a long time. It's like the one that's plus HA, but I found this one so much nicer. I don't even know like if it was better on my skin, but I like the formula so much better. They're probably very similar. The other one was like a white gel, and I found it was more difficult to rub in. This was a clear gel, and I just loved the feeling, like the texture. I loved the way it blended out on my skin. I thought this was excellent, and this is a definite repurchase for me. I used to just buy the other Ordinary one because it was inexpensive, cruelty-free, and I knew that it worked for my skin. Not because I actually liked it that much, but this one I am excited to purchase again. So highly recommend this. And now, continuing on with the next step in the makeup routine, I have the Paula's Choice Extra Care Non-Greasy Sunscreen, the broad spectrum SPF for face and body. I didn't really use this for body, I just used it for face, and I didn't love it. I think I'm gonna have to try out more sunscreens in order to find a holy grail one because I have not yet. I really like the Supergoop one that I used to use. It was a bit greasier than I liked. This one, it wasn't that it was greasy or oily, it's that there's something in it that my skin did not love. Like when using this, I thought that I had sensitive skin because I would have particular areas, usually under my eyes here, that would just sting a little bit after I used it. So sometimes I would use it with a different sunscreen in these areas to ensure that that didn't happen. But yeah, obviously it's not great to be using a sunscreen which your skin doesn't like. So I did use it up, but this will not be a repurchase. I also didn't find that it was worth the price. I think this was about, not on sale, probably more than $50 Canadian. I got it on sale, so I think it was probably about 40, which is like fine. That's how much the Supergoop one is. But because I didn't think it was great for me, just not worth it. So I'm probably going to try out some Korean sunscreens when I finish the one I'm currently working on. So leave me your recommendations. This, not a repurchase. And we've got just a couple more. Ooh, I forgot about this mini. This is from the Guino Institute in Paris. I had a facial maybe 2 months ago, and all of the products were this brand, and then afterwards they gave me a little sample size of it. What I liked about this is it says mattifying regulating cream. That is the truth. Like, you put this on your skin and it doesn't give you a glow. It's not that it takes away moisture, it just doesn't add more. And that, especially in summer, is what I want. I do not want my sunscreen and my moisturizer to be glowy. I have the glow myself, and I will be glowing even more because of the weather. So I need to find moisturizers. I mean, like, I love this, but it is still pretty dewy. So if there's other ones like this, I would love that. I didn't love the other parts about it, like it had a scent I didn't love, but I did like that it promised to be mattifying, and it was mattifying. The last product is a hair product. This is Sunbum, the blonde hair lightener. The story with this one is basically that I have been using some kind of like sun-in type product in my hair for a long time. It's basically like not natural highlights, but not quite bleach. So you spray it in your hair, you go out in the sun or use a hairdryer, and it like activates highlights kind of. So I've been using this type of product for a long time, and then obviously when I started dyeing my hair red, I stopped using it, but I decided I haven't really figured out what to do with my hair. I kind of think I want to go back to blonde, so I'll finish up my red hair products, and then I will either let my natural hair grow out, or I'll start using sun-in again, but like less than I was using before, sort of focused on these front areas. So I have started to do that, just using a little bit of sun-in, maybe like once a week. By sun-in, I mean like this Sunbum hair lightener stuff, just on the front pieces, because especially for summer, I want it to look like, you know, highlighted and like glowy. So yes, I have been using this more. When I purchased this, I purchased 3 of them together, so I'm on my second bottle, so I still do have more. This stuff is great. I don't know anyone else who uses this type of product. I think if people want to change their hair color, they just go to the salon. I can't be bothered either, like for the money, and also I feel like, I don't know, I don't like dark roots. And I think that this has given me a very natural looking blonde color in the past. So that's why I'm sticking with this, and we'll see what my hair looks like in the future. But that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. And now finally we can talk about a book that I've been reading lately, because I have not done this for a long time. So the book I've recently been reading is Until We Are Free, Reflections on Black Lives Matter in Canada, edited by Rodney Diverlis, Sandy Hudson, and Cyrus Marcus Ware. So I'm close to being done this. It has taken me a long time because it is, as you might imagine, a dense book. This is nonfiction. It is a lot of information, and it's not a light story. It is tough to get through, but I'm so glad that I kept it on my TBR for so long. It's just too bad it's taken me so long to get to this, but it is great. A lot of it is about the founding of Black Lives Matter Toronto, which was the first chapter that emerged outside of the US, and a lot of it is about anti-Black racism within Canada specifically, because we know how much of that exists in the US, but there isn't much of a focus on how that affects Black Canadians. And there is sort of this idea in a lot of people's minds that Canada is like the good place, you know, there's no racism here, or there's less racism here. Our criminal justice system isn't as bad as in the US, and we don't have as much of a like police issue, incarceration problem here in Canada, and that is proven wrong in this book. There's a lot of interesting chapters about Black and Indigenous resistance and like co-resistance, which I thought was really interesting. So it's sort of undoing the myth making about Canada as like a safe haven, and it talks about also the past. Like a lot of people think that there was no enslavement in Canada. That is not the truth. So it's a great book. It's a lot to get through, but if you are Canadian and you don't know much about the history of Black people in Canada and Black movements, I would highly recommend it. That's what I've been reading lately. Sorry I haven't talked about a book in a long time. Things have been very busy, and I expect it to sort of be that way in the future. Not that talking about a book takes that long in a video, but it is, 4 extra minutes or whatever of filming time, and then also extra time editing. And usually when I'm filming, I'm like in a rush getting ready to go somewhere. That's not the case today, which is why I have a little bit more time. I haven't had as much time to read lately. April to end of June are always chaos for me, and things are going to be busy over the next couple months as well, which I actually talked about in my most recent video. So if you want to know what I'm getting up to this summer, I am really excited about it, but things are going to be busier for me probably for a while. So that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you think I can pan this many makeup products for next update. I'm not that optimistic, but yeah, I'm really excited about today's empties. So I'll talk to you next week.